like talk so I can make sure it picks it all up.
Hello, I'm here to talk about what we call the UCC service, what we know today as the unemployment. Uh, I have been retaliated, discriminated, racially treated unfairly by the UCC service, UC service as we call the unemployment. I have sent documentations to state representatives and other people that I believe that would be helping me and still in the process. But I believe this, what I'm doing right now, would affect not just the people at UCC, exposing them for who they are, but help those that may have similarities of what I've experienced. I was working at a security company back in 2008. Stayed there for almost 9 years. I got laid off. Was getting unemployment. Got a job back in 2008, September the 17th. Worked at a sympathy house in Broad and Pine under Mr. Drainoff Properties. While I was there, I worked there for part-time Saturdays and Sundays. Did my job, came to work on time. I've never disrespected him or no one there. I got along with everybody. What took place, I got fired for confidentiality. They had a resident there under the influence. He liked to party, very eccentric individual. I warned him not to, they was going to call the police on him. And these are the guys that worked there, that they took money from him, and he did nice things with everybody. But I didn't allow that to happen. I warned him. I said, look, don't go in the lobby, don't get upset, don't get abrupt, and don't curse, because they're going to call the police. Which they didn't. He went back and exposed it and what I expected, so I didn't worry about it. But he was just a nice guy. So I goes for my unemployment. They didn't want to pay me my unemployment. I went to the hearing the 19th of December of 2008. They didn't show up. I go January the 17th. They didn't show up. So I was eligible for the unemployment. I have documentations stating that I supposed to have received this unemployment, and I never received it. From my understanding, Mr. Drainoff is known not to pay black African Americans unemployment if he can. I'm not sitting here. He threatened me. He said things that I ain't like. And these are the papers I have for the eligibility from what I have experienced from the unemployment people. And if you look at it, if you get a little close, it say that I was eligible. And you can see that right there. We'll have that up for you. We're going to put that up. The reason why I'm putting this out there is because my way of exposing what I have experienced with the UCC, what we call unemployment. The time I was working, I also got a job working at another condominium. I got laid off in September, April the 28th. I called them that same week. They allowed me to continue to collect my security job that I recently worked for, U.S. Security. They allowed me to collect that extension instead of stopping it in January. Allowed me to pick up my new claim, for January the 19th, which they didn't. When I called and asked about it, they told me they blended it. Excuse me, what I'm about to say as far as how I see how they called me a nigger. That's how I'm accepting this. That's what the UC unemployment people called me. Because I was supposed to went along with that like a nut, which I didn't accept that at all. This is my interpretation, how I feel, how they treated me, and what they were saying to me. And I also talked to them, called them again, and they told me it was a no probable cause. They say there's no probable cause on your behalf, Mr. Bennett. It's our fault. I said, when are you going to fix it? They never fixed it. So in April the 28th, I got laid off. They immediately gave me the unemployment from there. And I was a little upset behind that. I wonder why I'm still never receiving the unemployment. Now, mind you now, I'm still, when I called them, they supposedly had dropped my claim, my extension from U.S. Security, which they allowed me to continue to do so, which they should have gave me my unemployment in January. They stopped the U.S. Security then, and I supposed to be picking up some Sympathy House unemployment, which I never did. So I hope you're keeping up with me. If you have similarities of experience of what I'm experiencing, this is the way you go about it. I done wrote letters, send them out. This is a big great, effective way. I got these young guys. They help me out with this, and I really want to bring this to the public so you can be motivated to do the things that I'm doing. Put it out there. What happened was, after I got that unemployment, I didn't work that whole year. I received $197 a week. And what happened was, they stopped my unemployment and told me that I was a no fault. I owed them some money. When I called them that week of the 28th of April and let them know I no longer work for, Sympathy House, they still allowed me to collect my extensions from U.S. Security, which they should have dropped back in January the 19th, which they didn't. They allowed me to collect that, stop my unemployment almost for 3 weeks, 3 months, and I had to pay that money back. In the process, I was unemployed. I had health issues. I couldn't buy my medicine. I was just going through it. And thank God I had other things that would help me to stay afloat to do the things I need to do. But they was rude to me when I called them. They called me a nigger every chance they got. I want to put this out there because this is my interpretation of how the people from UC unemployment talks to you. They don't care nothing about you. They're rude. They're inconsiderate. They don't have no compassion for you. They laugh at you if you make less. They laugh at you if you make more. Their whole purpose is to take from you. And the whole year I was out of work. You understand? They sent me a letter back at when I started working. I got a job back in December the 11th. And when I got this job, I was so messed up from the whole time the way they treated me. I was protesting against them. They gave me a claim from now. I'm dropping from 197 down to, they said, we found you a new claim, Mr. Bennett, of $132 for all the jobs you had in 2010. Mind you now, I didn't have no jobs in 2010 because I didn't work. So when I exposed that and sent that to Miss Roosevelt, when I had a hearing, I went there, I took the hearing, papers right here. She called me a nigger the whole time I was there. She didn't want to listen to nothing I have to say about January the 10th of 2000, January the 19th of 2010. She didn't want to hear it. Now I say back that time and this time it's the same thing. You can't do with this and you can't deal with this. That money there that you owe me from there has something to do with what's going on now. She didn't want to hear none of that. All she was concerned about what I owed them. So how I'm going to owe you something if you owe me? You understand? I'm bringing this out and exposing this because I'm not allowing nobody to take nothing from me. I don't care who they are and what they are and what they got, what don't make no difference to me. You understand? I'm just bringing this out to people that you may not be. Don't argue, fuss, complain with your family and friends about what you see unemployment did. Do what I'm doing. I got a phone number for you. You can go down to the federal building on 6th and Market on the 2nd floor. Put in a complaint with the UC services. That's the federal government. I'm still in the process of dealing with them also, but I got my papers out. These are my papers for that. These are the papers that I had when I went down to the clerk bench, and they worked. I also have a letter that I went to talk to Mr. Harris Stone from NBC, and his phone number. And while I'm looking for that, when I went to the hearing to Miss Rosa and Ben at the hearing at Callawhill, 3rd and Callawhill off of Spring Garden, they sent an email to my boss. Now this is cold-blooded. Instead of they giving him a week or 2 weeks notice, they emailed him that Friday to come in. Now he over the weekend all in his head about me, all what he did, and when he got there, I said, "What you come in for?" You understand? And I made it perfectly clear to that lady, Miss Roseanne, that she called me the nigga the whole time I was there. There's a conflict of interest here. You trying to get my boss to fire me by him making a move like that. Even he said that. You know, I mean, it's real sad what the UC unemployment people do to you people, which like they did to me. And I just want to expose this, and I want this to go out there. I have documentation I asked the lady, where you get $132 from? She couldn't give me no answer because I said, you falsify a claim that was a lie. How are you going to give me $132 when I didn't work in 2010? And if I started out with 197, I was going in my first tier, and now all of a sudden you stop that to give me less? You put that together for yourself, folks. But I'm just talking to the people out there that have experienced unemployment, how I've been treated. I don't care where this go, how it goes. They owe me that money. That's the money I work for. They took it out of my check, and I demand that they pay me what I owe. Whatever I owe, I don't owe you anything, because I protest against these folks because what they did to me. And two, if it's wrong, two wrongs don't make a right. And I want to put it out there for those that experience what I'm experiencing, to stand up for what they believe is right. It doesn't matter what you do. I feel good about and comfortable about what I'm doing right now, in regards where it goes and how it goes. You understand what I'm saying? No one should be treated unfair. I don't care where you at. Unemployment, any services that you looking to help you to deal with any issue that you may have up, that you may be going through. They even priced up all the money that I say that I owe. I say, if I owe you all this, what about the money that you owe me? They never gave me no confirmation on anything that they did and how they did it. So I send letters everywhere. I'm getting some response, but I believe this is more effective because it's not just affecting me, it's affecting thousands of people out there just like me, experience what I'm going through and may have the same similarities. And all I'm doing is exposing this so you folks out there could do what they need to do. I'm going to still be campaigning on this, doing what I need to do, because I want to expose these people. They talk to you in that kind of way. They say anything they want to say to you. They don't have no respect. You understand that when they talk to me like that, I said, what I do to them? My suggestion to you is call Mr. Harrison from NBC. He's an investigator, very good guy. I need more people to call him, email him about the same similarities that I'm experiencing so we could get the help we all need. You understand? And this is what's going to make us come together. They deal with us separately. When they deal with you personally, they got you. But if we all band together, thousands of us have come together, feel enough that have experienced unemployment. I was talking to a young lady. She was in a car accident. She told me she went back to work. They fired her. She put all the documentations and everything. It wasn't her fault. They fired her. And when she called up for the unemployment UC services, she didn't receive unemployment. Now she's fighting for that, and they ain't trying to give it to you. You understand? Now, before Obama's doing what he's doing to try to keep the unemployment alive for people that receive it, they already stated that 3.8 million people is unemployment. How many supervisors and bosses are going to call the unemployment people and tell them to stop your benefits when you know you was right and you should deserve it? Don't argue, fuss with your family and friends, or walking around talking to yourself about it. Do something about it. This is one of the effective ways I feel that will be get my point across. You understand? Because I'm not allowing nobody to call me no nigger or anything like that, knowing that I'm rational, I do our job, I come to work, and I stand up for what I believe is right. Now, I don't care how this affects people, you understand, but it affects me. This is my interpretation, how the UC unemployment people talk to me and how they've been treating me since 2010 up to now. You understand? If I owe you something, make sure you be responsible for what you have to owe me and pay me for what I owe you. And just like I said before, please go down to 6th and Market, 2nd floor, clerk desk, federal building, put your complaints in. Send your letters to your state representative, your congressman, which I did. I sent one to the governor, 5 sheets of 13 copies. He didn't respond back to me yet, but I'm sure he will. The President of the United States, I sent him out to. I'm getting my point across. You understand? That's money that I work for. That's money that they took out of my check for that, and I deserve it. And it doesn't matter how it goes. I'm comfortable knowing what I'm doing right now. It's not just for me, but for y'all guys out there that have experienced what I experienced. And if you stand up for what you believe into, please, this is the right way of doing it. Put it on the web, get your point across. Just go down to Call Mr. Haverstone, down to NBC, email them, Channel 10, Channel 6, the Daily News, whatever it takes for you to stand up for what you feel is right, do so. I have closure right now for what I believe that I'm doing right now for my rights and what I believe that's how I'm being treated by Miss Rosanna Ben down there at the down on 3rd and Callahill. That's all she did was call me a nigga the whole time I was there. And I don't appreciate that. And I ain't even told that in her face. I'm not there to make nobody happy. You understand? So she's sending out a letter saying that I owe you. Be responsible for what you owe me. I'm saying this to y'all guys to help those that may not want to do this or feel fearful. You ain't got nothing to be afraid about. If you can run your mouth talking to your families and friends about it, you can put it on the test and do it just like I'm doing. Thank you for your cooperation, and I hope everything will work out the way you want it to be.